Today I want to talk to you about a few things. One of them is the fact that AI has become so prolific in creating crochet patterns and offering them up as a viable, workable pattern for the public, both paid and free. And when this has been happening, it's somebody like me who usually figures out that the pattern is not real or is quite undoable, like you cannot actually bring it to fruition. In the pictures that I have attached to this video, you can see a beautiful square that promises to be an easy, simple square to do, and it's by somebody that goes by the name of Yarnimals. It's not a viable pattern. First of all, when you see the reel where it shows the pattern in progress, and I did comment on this and I did leave my quote unquote expert opinion as far as that goes on how unworkable the pattern actually is. It's a beautiful looking square. It looks like stained glass, but when you look at it, you can see that there are certain things that make it clear it's AI, and I can point those out. So here's the pattern. I went ahead, it was offered as a free pattern, and I went ahead and downloaded it. It's got my name on it at the bottom of it. It says that it's free right here. And if you look at this pattern, it looks completely possible. Like you can see that you might be able to do it because it's got the 4 sides. It's got like the right a number of clusters and shells around it on certain sides. But then if you dive deeper into this, you see that it's not actually a viable pattern. First of all, the center, it starts in the pattern. It says to make a magic ring and put chain 2, put 11 double crochet in the center so that you have a total of 12 double crochet. Now, when I searched this pattern and looked at this pattern, there are 14 quote unquote double crochets here. So right off the bat, that is not a workable pattern. You need an even number of stitches in order to get a square, but 14 is not the number that you need. You need 12, you need 16, you need 20, something along that line, because you have to have the same number of stitches on each side to make it a square. So the yellow is actually 14 double crochet. Then when you look at the pink somehow becomes, it goes from 2 double crochet in each double crochet below. It becomes a 2 double crochet cluster in the picture, but the pattern reads in each double crochet put 2 double crochet, which equals 24 double crochets. That's not correct either, because if you have 14 double crochets in the center from the picture, then you would have 28 double crochets in the second ring, or the second round, from the increase by 2 double crochets in each one around. So if you look at this, there's 14 in the center, and then you go to the pink round, which is actually 2 double crochet clusters, which is completely different than a 2 double crochet increase stitch all the way around. So there's 16 of those. So you count that, that's wrong. It could be right if it had started out with 16 double crochets here and then 16 double crochet clusters here. Even so, I tried to do this pattern. I went through and I attempted from the written pattern to make it, to see if it would work out. It did not work out. So on the third round, you have the blue. Now we go back to having 12 here. when you come to that, 12 technically would work. It does not tell you in the pattern how to go from 14 to 16 to 12. There are no decreases written in the pattern. There's no explanation of how they get this particular look, and there's no way to know how you put this black in there. It does not tell you that until you get to the green round. And then when you get to the green round, the black is completely different from what is written in the pattern. So from here you go 14 to 16 to 12 clusters. Now in this picture, the clusters consist of 4 double crochets. So and there's no chains written in there. It doesn't say to do a chain space between each one, which you would technically need, or you would need to be working this black in between each one of the blue clusters in order to make it look like the picture. So I went ahead and kept trying to make this work. So by the green round, I had figured out that it's not possible to make, it's not going to work. It's not going to look this way. So I went ahead and did this, and I devised a way to put the black in here that was different than what was in the directions. So in the directions, the black doesn't come into play until this area here, and it goes from this to this. So somewhere along the line, it skips all of this round right here. And the pattern is just so poorly written. It is not a complete pattern. It does not explain everything step by step like it purports to be, like it's going to be. So I am the eternal skeptic on this, and I figured that I would go ahead and try it as far as I could get. What I ended up with was something that I got angry about. I was instantly mad that I had spent the time to sign up on this website for the purpose of gaining this pattern and being able to work this pattern. So I went ahead and made it up to the certain point with the black, which is pictured here, and I will show you what I did. So I did that, and I was so upset and so mad about this that I ripped it out, and then I tried to recreate it using this picture, not the directions, not any of the kinds of things that I saw in the pattern itself. And this is what I came up with by trying to follow the picture. One of the things you can see right off the bat is it is so ruffly or so wavy. Now, in my version of this, I tried by following the picture. I went ahead and made it make sense to me. In the center here, I have 16 double crochets in a magic ring. In each one of those 16 double crochets, I went ahead and I put the 2 double crochet clusters, as you can see. But what I did to make them try and lay flat was I did 2 double crochet clusters, so joined by a chain 2 here. So I did a double crochet cluster of 2, a chain 2, and then in the next one a double crochet cluster. I didn't chain the 2 here, but I went straight into the next double crochet cluster, and then I did a chain 2. So every other pair of double crochet clusters got a chain 2. In my mind, it was going to lay flat, and it might work with 16. I, at the same time, had joined the black and was using the black pulled forward as a way to make sure that I had the delineation. Now, the problem is the pink and the yellow, that part laid flat, but the bigger it got and the more I tried to follow the picture, the worse it started to ruffle. So I went ahead and tried it with the blue. I was trying to match the photo on this, and what I have here are 5 double crochet in the blue. According to the picture, it's 4, but it didn't make sense with me because if you look at the picture here, it's very clear that they're going between the, they're going into the middle double crochet for the green. Now, the middle of this 4 isn't possible unless you're going between the stitches. And the photo, it does not look like it's between, but in the middle stitch. There isn't a middle stitch in 4. There is a middle stitch in 5. So that's what I did. I went ahead and I put 5 double crochet in the 2 ring, or I'm sorry, in the chain 2 of the black that I had put here. And I didn't mention that before, but that's what I did to make this available for the blue. I had crocheted with the black between each one of these 2 double crochet clusters, and I had put a chain 2 between each one of these to make the space available for the blue. As you can see, this is it's not going to lay flat. So I was starting to really get frustrated with this because I really wanted to make this work. So I went ahead and completed the blue round, and I had put in between each one of these a double crochet in the black. Then when I got to this point, after that, I was carrying the black in front of the work, and I went ahead and then I joined the green. Now in the photo, the round of green is these perfect shells that have this perfect round look to them, and there are, I believe, 6 pictured here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and each one of those is supposed to make it look very round. What happens when you put 6 in there is you do get a shell shape, but it's not as round as it looks in the picture. So I had to figure out how they made it look round. In order to do that, I had to put a single crochet in the first stitch of the blue. I had to then skip 1 and put 5 double crochets in the center stitch, skip 1 and put a single crochet in the fifth stitch of the blue. Doing this gave it extra stitches that are not pictured in the photo, but at the same time made sense in my brain that this was going to at least mimic what I saw in the photo. To get the black in there, I had to go ahead and I was working the black. I had it kept pulled with the other yarns, and I did a double crochet, a front post double crochet around the double crochet from the round below as a way to make the line go up. And then I started doing single crochets in each of the green round by putting 1 single crochet in the first one, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth. And that's in between that is where you do the front post double crochet in the black. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who are selling and making patterns on using AI to write the directions out. The written directions do not match anything in this photo. So this was a complete bust. It's not my goal to be out here cracking knuckles with somebody who is making money or selling their pattern. This pattern is not a viable pattern. Unfortunately, there are videos all over IG and Facebook that are showing this as a viable pattern. I was so happy about this. I was going to show my class how to make it, and that is what I came up with. So the first one I completely frogged and ripped out. This is the second attempt at it, and it's following the picture only. And then I went ahead and created my own from using the thoughts and the premise of that I had built in the first attempt, the second attempt. And so what I came up with for the third attempt on this was this. This is not quite as detailed or have as many rounds in it as the other one from the Yarnimals, but this is my version of a stained glass. In the center, I have 12 double crochets. In each of the double crochets, I have 2 single crochets with a chain 2 between them. This is how I set up my rounds and my square. So you can see it lays flat. This is a flat square. I did not write this down because, like so many things when I'm figuring stuff out, I don't write it down until I figured it out. I'm not going to write this down, and I'm not going to offer it as a pattern simply because this was my attempt to make sense of an AI pattern. So the first round is 12 double crochet. The second round is 2 single crochet with a chain 2 in each one of the double crochet, which gives it that definition. And you can see that there's room to put the round that's green. Okay, the green round, I went ahead and did the 2 double crochet clusters, but I did 2 in each of the chain 2 spaces from between the single crochets in the round before. So there's a double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster in each of the chain 2 spaces around. That is how I made those 3 rounds. And then to expand it further and be able to work in the black so that the stained glass look could be started, I went ahead and picked up the blue and I made V stitches in between each of the 2 double crochet clusters from the round below. So to make a V stitch, you just do a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the space that you're working. So in this chain 2 space here, I have a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then I skip right over to the next one. That means I skip 1 cluster here, 1 cluster here, and I do a V stitch in the next the next chain 2 double crochet place. Again, that's a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in each of the chain 2 spaces around on the green round. Looking at this now, I see that it looks like a thistle or a flower. A thistle is very appropriate since I'm Scottish and I love Scotland. So that's beside the point. But I went ahead with working both the black and the purple at the same time. So what I did here was on the purple round, I did a simple 5 double crochet in between each of the V stitches, or in that chain 2 space from the V stitch from below. And then you can see there are no extra chains in the purple. It's just the way that it laid. And I went ahead with the black. I had joined the black to the one side of the square. I did a long triple crochet, which is you wrap your yarn twice around your hook, you go down and you go through the chain loop of the not the chain loop, the space between the 2 double crochet clusters on the green round, and you pull up the stitch so that it's nice and long and even, and you finish the stitch. So this is a triple crochet stitch, and it's hard to see because it's black, but I did that in each one of the spaces between the clusters below. In the meantime, I worked in the back loop of the purple double crochets, and I did a single crochet in each one of those around. So this round consists of a long triple crochet that works down between the 2 double crochet clusters that do not have a chain between them, and then you pull that up even and you finish the stitch, and then you put a single crochet in the back loop only of each of the purple double crochets, which is a shell, and you repeat that around. Now at this point what you can see is I have 12 of the clusters. This is how I made it flat, because to make a square out of a circle, you need to have a multiple of either 4, 8, 12, or 16. And 16 had proven to be too much because it ruffled, and 12 seems to be just right because it lays flat. So I hope I'm explaining this in a way that you can understand. And I know that black is hard to see, but I am sitting here with my white bedspread behind it, hopefully helping to see the stitches. So that was the first black round. Now, to get to where I squared it up and made it square, I had to take this from a circle, because this was still quite circular at the time, and turn it into a square. In order to do that, I picked one of the triple crochet areas here, and I started the corner of the square. In order to start my corner, I did a chain 3 and then a triple crochet times 2. So it's a chain 3 and 2 triple crochets, chain 2, 3 triple crochets, all in that same stitch, which is one of the triple crochets from the round before. Okay, so now I've got a corner here. This is a 3 triple crochet corner, and it is consisting of 3 triple crochets, chain 2, 3 triple crochets, all in the same one. I repeat these things so that it makes sense and hopefully helps to explain what I was doing. Now we have to work these stitches that are curved and making a circle. We have to turn them into a square. So in order to do that, I went from the triple crochet here where I'd made the corner, and then I worked the following stitches. The very first single crochet of the purple one, of the round below, I did a double crochet. And then to make it, that brings that up to the same height as the triple crochets. So it's hard to see here, but the 3 triple crochets stick out just a bit to make that corner. In order to make it squared off, you have to bring these stitches here up to the same height as the triple crochet corner. So what I did was I went triple crochet corner, a double crochet in the first available stitch, which was also the first single crochet of the first black round in the purple, and then I did 3 half double crochets here, so that covers 4 of the 5 stitches. And then I started here and I put single crochets in each one of the stitches over to this point, and that I went back to mimicking this corner. So then I did 3 half double crochets here, 1 double crochet here, and then the triple crochet corner in this next triple crochet. That made it nearly straight because it was setting up the round that follows. So now I have done everything up to this point. I've got one more round on here to make this squared up, and in the process of that I had to mimic and do some of the same things that I did on the round before. Now on this round, instead of triple crochets in the corner, I did 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in this corner. It was still kind of round-ish, so I needed to complete it by making all of these stitches here stand as high and tall as the corner. So here I went 1 double crochet, 3 half double crochets, and then 9 single crochets over here to this point where I did 3 half doubles, 1 double, and then the corner again. And that is how I made a stained glass square by using my own brain. It's not AI. This is just what I came up with. And it doesn't, while it looks similar to, it's nowhere near what the picture from Yarn Animals put out there on the web as a free pattern. So when you are crocheting, I give you a warning, and I tell my class, my students in the class all the time, that YouTube is not actually as friendly to crocheters as people think. There are 5 billion crochet videos out there. There are just as many creators telling you that you're holding your hook wrong, you're holding your yarn wrong, you're not doing this right or that right. And yes, that does wear on me, because I teach my class my way to do it, but my way makes sense. It's logical and it works. I don't teach my class anything that they cannot replicate from me. So if they can't complete something, then I have to figure out why. In this particular pattern, I really wanted to be able to teach them that square, and I was sorely disappointed. I do hope that whoever created the AI pattern that they put out there for people to use understands that they are promoting pure BS in the world of crochet. And there are a lot of people who want to learn how to crochet, and they want to learn how to do it correctly so that they can create things. The videos that are on YouTube, so many of them have been written with AI, and so many of them are misleading in what they promised can happen from their pattern. I followed this pattern. What I came up with didn't look anything like what is pictured. So I'm out here, and yes, I'm going to blast this other creator because I don't know who it is, but I can tell you that that pattern was written by AI. This has happened to me before. I actually paid $9 for a pattern that was all over the internet. It looked like I was going to make this coat. I'll put pictures of that there, of that here as well. And the coat, when I did it following the pattern, actually just the back side alone was wide as my queen size bed. So that was absolutely a fail. And once again, the way it was written was clear it was AI. But how could I know that unless I bought the pattern? I couldn't know until I bought the pattern at $8.99 to figure out that what they had given was a picture of something or a video of something that looked like a viable pattern, a crochet pattern. And once you pay for the pattern, then you're stuck. There's no returns on patterns. You cannot complain to anybody because you made the purchase. So I'm just warning you to be aware and really question what you're seeing on this screen. If you are able to, like I was with this Yarnimals pattern, you can get it for free, and then you can look at the photo that they feature on their pattern as being able to make the square. I didn't do this before I printed it, and I wish I had, but it's too late. However, I'm telling you now, buyer beware on these kinds of things that are coming out all over the internet now, because what they offer you is AI generated, and what they actually give you is crap. I'm not going to mince words. Be careful out there. Hopefully I can teach you on my channel, and since it is still so new, I hope that what I show you here is beneficial to you, and I'm able to show you how to do things, real things with crochet, as somebody who's been doing it for over 50 years. I want to be able to share that with my viewers. So that's my rant for today about crocheted AI crap that is being sold and given for free on the internet. Thank you for watching, and I will be back.